Some say black gloves make you look more professional. I don't know if that's true, but once you go black, you never go. Let's do this. Welcome to Dirt Bike Channel. I'm gonna be talking about oils and chemicals that I keep in the shop. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because probably one of the main people that these videos have been for, or at least the people that are watching my videos, are the guys who used to ride dirt bikes back when they were, teenagers or whatever, and then they get into their 20s and 30s and their families are starting and all this stuff, and they have to move away from dirt bikes. And then they get 30, 40, 50, 60, they've got some disposable income, they want to come back into dirt bikes, but they don't know where to start as far as bikes and gear and anything else. And so they're coming to me with questions. And so this is what this video is about today. These are some of the main chemicals and different things that I use in the shop, for working on bikes. Now, most of this stuff I buy on Rocky Mountain ATV. If you want to support me, use the link down here for Rocky Mountain ATV. I'm going to put links in for a lot of these products here. And that really helps me out because it won't cost you anything. You'll just click on the link for Rocky Mountain ATV. And then you can buy anything they sell, including most of these products. There are a few things here that are not sold by Rocky Mountain ATV, and so this is one of them that is not sold by Rocky Mountain ATV. I just buy, this is Adam's car shampoo. I buy this on Amazon, or you can get it at AutoZone or anywhere. This is a great shampoo for soap for washing your bike. So you're gonna need something to wash your bike, some soaps. I use a brush, I even sell a wash brush. I'll probably pop that up here, but that's something to start with. I'm just gonna move this way. This isn't not in any order of importance, but just different things that I'm using quite a bit. So this is a dielectric grease. This is a silicone paste. I believe I also get this one on Amazon, if this will focus. And I just use this to waterproof some of the connections. So sometimes I'll put it on battery terminals or different things like that. So some dielectric grease is a good thing to have. I also just have several different types of lube. Lube's never a bad thing. Grease, lube. This is a synthetic grease that I'll use on different things like axles or whatever. In fact, I'll use this a lot. This is the Maxima grease. This is the grease I use the very most. This is a waterproof grease by Maxima. You can get this on Rocky Mountain ATV. This is really good. I buy it by the tub. It lasts me forever. It's a good thing to have around. But then sometimes if you're just gonna throw it in a pack or whatever, or throw it in like maybe your toolkit that you take on the road, I want a smaller thing. I will use anti-seize in certain places, like on triple clamp bolts and things. So this is a Permatex. I get this, you can get this probably at Rocky Mountain ATV or also just on Amazon. This is an anti-seize lubricant here. I realized in editing that I missed a thread locker to put in this video. So get yourself a thread locker. This is a really cool moto company, Stuck Nuts, and I use both high strength and medium strength in my shop. Good stuff. Then we've got brake fluid. Now, it's probably more expensive. I know it's more expensive to buy brake fluid from places like Maxima or Rocky Mountain ATV. Then you could probably get it cheaper down at just the parts store. But when I'm buying a bunch of different stuff, and I like to support motorcycle companies, that's the biggest reason why I have this. It would be cheaper. There are certain products up here that are cheaper if I went just to Walmart or whatever, which you can totally do. Like with motor oils, we'll get to that. You can go buy Rotella at Walmart, and it's totally fine. But one of the nice things about it is nice to support motorcycle companies, and so Maxima, that's one of the reasons, that's one of the reasons why I'm using the .4 brake fluid from Maxima. Is I like motorcycle companies, and it's not breaking the bank. You don't use it a ton. It's just when you're flushing things out. So just a little plug for motorcycle companies. I actually use quite a bit of WD-40. I do not use chain lube on all of my O-ring and X-ring chains. They don't need to be lubed because they're sealed inside. The lubrication is inside. I personally believe when you're putting chain lube, and I do have chain lube here, but from back in the day, here's some Maxima chain guard, some chain lube. I don't like this stuff because it just flips off the chain. Well, there's a ton of different chain lubes, but generally speaking, they just attract dirt. And now, if you had a motocross chain that was not sealed, like it isn't an O-ring chain or an X-ring chain, yeah, you need to lube it. But most of the chains that I'm working with are sealed, O-ring and X-ring, and so I don't lube them. I just wash the chain, get it clean, which is right here. You can use here's a Maxima cleanup chain cleaner. This is actually a really good chain cleaner, and then sometimes I'll have a brush. But because I'm not using the chain lubes a lot, I don't usually need to do that. I can just pressure wash it, and then I spray it with WD-40, the chain, afterwards. And all that really is doing is dispersing the water away so it doesn't rust. That's really what this is about. Same thing can happen with this Reverend Motors. I've got a couple of Reverend Motors products here. This is a really cool motorcycle company. Thou shalt not rust. This is a pretty cool product right here. If this will focus, there we go. Thou shalt not rust. It's similar to like a WD-40, water disbursement anti-rust thing. That's a pretty cool product. Brake cleaner, PJ1 brake cleaner. I get this from Rocky Mountain ATV. This is for cleaning some of the nasty parts, obviously brakes, but some of the other super, super nasty stuff, like oils and different things, you can clean this off. Just be careful, because this is pretty harsh, and it can like discolor your plastics, it can discolor aluminum. So you wanna be careful where you're spraying that. Typically, you're just putting that on your brakes. Probably the thing that I use the very most around the shop, cleaning up bikes, and even on my trailer is contact cleaner. I buy this stuff I feel like from the caseload, I've got what, 3, 4 of those up there in here, and I have some contact cleaner in my truck, in the back seat of my truck. I have some contact cleaner in my trailer. I'm constantly using this all the time. This is probably my favorite product of overall, because you can clean so many things with it. And it's safe to put it on electronics, because it just basically evaporates away. This one, let me just move this down here. This one is a Maxima suspension clean. So this is a less harsh cleaner. So if you got some really sensitive areas on the bikes that you're worried about maybe not using too harsh of a chemical, not that this is super harsh, the contact cleaner, but this is a more gentle cleaner to clean things off. Suspension guys use this a lot, because that's why it's suspension clean. It dries quickly and completely. That's a pretty cool thing to have around. This one, SC1. A lot of people call this new bike in a can. This is that thing. This is by Maxima, and you can shine this, you can spray this on your plastics and different parts of your bike, and it just makes the bike look so good. It gives it that shine. But it also is helpful to spray this under your fenders, and it makes it so mud doesn't stick to the bike quite as readily. And so a lot of times, like if we're at a motocross race for my son, we'll spray SC1 up under his fenders. Same thing, you can do this stuff too. This is Reverend Motors Born Again right here. They have this product that is very, very similar to the SC1. So I like that stuff. I don't think you can get this on Rocky Mountain ATV, the Reverend Motors stuff. You'd have to go direct to their website. They're a cool company. But I do buy the SC1 on Rocky Mountain ATV. We already talked about the chain cleaner there. And then as far as like coolant for your bikes, I really, really have liked this engine ice. It's relatively expensive, but it's super good. There are other options out there, and you could probably just go and buy the Walmart stuff and put them in your bikes. But I feel like this, I don't have the data to show this for sure, but I feel like this makes my bike run just a little bit cooler. Not crazy cool, but it does make the bike, I feel like, run just a few degrees cooler with this engine ice stuff. And so I'll keep that on hand for, you know, when I'm doing things. Like, cause I put radiator fans on a lot of the bikes, and so you have to drain the coolant out. And then usually I'll just fill it back up with this engine ice product. As far as getting into actually motor oils and transmission oils, again, you could go to Walmart, you could go to AutoZone, but I like buying stuff from motorcycle companies. So here I've got the Bell Ray oil. This is 15W50. It's a 4-stroke engine oil, but a lot of the 2-strokes use this as well, just in the transmissions. Most of them do, actually. So if you got a KTM 300 or something like this, or even a Sherco or whatever, you can use this 1550 in the transmission of those bikes. That's typically what they call for, is either a 1050 or a 1550. And so it's nice because I can, if I've got a 4-stroke motor, this is what I'm running inside the motor. If I've got a 2-stroke transmission, this is typically what I'm running in the 2-stroke trans. But I've also got, like, here's another one from Reverend Motors. Here's just a 1050. You know, so 1550, 1050, just depending on what your bike is calling for. But Reverend Motors also makes a 1550, I believe. And anyway, this is a cool product as well. And they have different colors. Like, they put some different dyes in here, so they're kind of fun. And then moving into 2-stroke oil. So Motul is a really good oil. I've used several different two-stroke oils in the past. I've used AMSOIL Sabre a lot. I don't have AMSOIL here, but I use that a lot on all my pre-mix bikes for so long. Now that I'm running the TPI and the TBI bikes, I mostly just run the Motorex Cross Power 2T, and that way I can dump it in the TB. Oh crap! I'm dripping oil. I can run this in the TBI bikes, the TPI bikes, and then I'm mixing this at 65:1 for like my XCs that are premixes and my Suns that is premix. And so I mostly am just using this oil right now for the two strokes, because then I don't have to think about it. I wish that this came in 8-ounce bottles. That was the biggest reason I have used in the past AMSOIL Sabre, is because it comes in an 8-ounce bottle. You just dump the 8-ounce bottle into your gas fuel jug and then put 5 gallons of gas in and you're 80:1. 5.5 gallons of gas, you're at 90:1. And that oil worked really well at that viscosity. And then last thing I have up here is just the Bel-Ray air filter oil. I use this stuff. I like this stuff to I don't like the aerosols as much because I want to really permeate my air filters. And so I'll just pour this into an air filter and then just knead it together, you know, just like really get it completely saturated. And this Bel-Ray filter, the foam filter oil, this is the one that I like the very best as far as all the oils. It's a little bit thicker of an oil, and more viscous, if you will, and I think it does fantastic. So those are most of the chemicals and oils that I use here in the shop, and I try to keep this stuff on hand all the time. There may be some other things that I'll use from time to time, but this is the main stuff that I'm using. You know, your shampoos, your dielectric grease, your greases, brake fluid, different chemicals for cleaning and cooling, and motor oil, and two-stroke oil, and then the filter oil. And those are some of the main things that I like to use. Anyway, that's what I've got for you. Stay tuned for the next sweepstakes. The next sweepstakes is gonna be happening Black Friday, and we're gonna be giving away the 300 XCW Hard Enduro and the 300 XC as well. This is gonna be one of the shirts that we're doing as well. This is a design that we did before, but we did it on a gray shirt. These are the nicest shirts that I can possibly buy. And I've got 2 more brand new designs coming. One's in black and one's in, like, we call it heathered black or whatever. It's like a kind of a charcoal. A couple more new shirt designs. I'll probably pop them up on here, but those will be up on the site and live on Black Friday. And we'll do the sweepstakes from Black Friday clear through the end of 2023, and you can get those bikes. So, and when the sweepstakes is going, you can use my links for Rocky Mountain ATV on buying any of this stuff, and it will get you entries into the sweepstakes for those bikes. So just keep that in mind. It's pretty cool. We're making it so that you can get the gear you want, whether it's a Dirt Bike Channel shirt or hat or tie downs or whatever, or you can buy any of these things, obviously the Red Motors, maybe not, but you can buy these things from Rocky Mountain ATV and get entries in to win those 2 beautiful bikes. So that's what I have for you today. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, you can always email me, Kyle@dirtbikechannel.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you so much for your support. Thank you for using the links with Rocky Mountain ATV. They cannot be beat. They're the best in the business. And until next time, leave a single track. Thanks.